Hello everybody. Welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all doing fantastic and that you're all having an absolutely incredible day. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. There is a link in the description below. And without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Kind of a weird news day. You'll see. It's kind of completely in all directions today. Around three-quarters of all circulating Bitcoin hasn't been moved for the past 6 months or more, according to on-chain data. If you've been following over the course of the last year, this has increased just about every single quarter. We are receiving an enormous amount of whale news, whale accumulation news, buying news, and more so, this has been maybe the last 2 or 3 months that we've been getting this in the news. News about permanent addresses. These are addresses that have only, historically, as long as they've been buying, and typically many of them anywhere from 5 to 10 years plus, have only bought Bitcoin and have never sold. They've never transferred, never moved to another wallet. They're just simply buying constantly. These became quite popular-esque in the news around a year and a half ago before they had a defined name, if you will. These were the wallet addresses that people were talking about on Twitter. Buying 100 Bitcoin per day, 150, 300 Bitcoin per day, 700 Bitcoin per day. And now we're seeing, as we've been talking about, the only people who appear to be constantly selling on the market are short-term holders. These are normally categorized as people who have been in the market for less than 6 months. They get into the market normally when prices are rising, when things are going higher, because they think that they can take advantage of the movement that they think is going to happen. The movement doesn't take place. They sell their coins. These coins go into the hands of long-term holders, long-term investors. It's not just whales, people who are buying hundreds of Bitcoin. It's actually the constant shifting of money from the new people in the market to people who've been in the market for a while, who have been through multiple cycles and kind of understand where everything is going. But now it's like crunching even more, where we're seeing, as I've been stating over the course of many years, that there's literally not a lot of Bitcoin to go around. This Bitcoin supply continues to move to only one side, and this is part of the thing. Why a lot of times in the other videos you hear me say, like, the rich are going to own all the Bitcoin. It's because they're accumulating, they're not selling, and it looks like that 75% of Bitcoin has not moved in over half a year. The findings come from Glassnode's HODL wave chart, which uses blockchain data to give a macro view of Bitcoin. The amount of Bitcoin held in wallets based on time since it last moved. The data shows around 74% has been stationary for most of 2024, despite the asset falling 21% from its all-time high. So, what most people don't tend to understand, if you heard the end of that sentence, despite Bitcoin falling, the general idea, I'm trying to phrase it in a certain way so that it doesn't come off too harsh. People who don't invest, who don't have a lot of assets, who don't understand, and once again, as I am not a genius, who don't understand like the basics of market behavior, market ideas, of accumulation. This is once again why we have like very few very wealthy families. The idea isn't to simply react to volatility and or to sell your position when you see that prices have fallen or are falling. The idea for rich people and rich families and wealthy communities is that you buy more. So it's not because or despite the asset falling 21% that rich people haven't relinquished their holdings. It's when it falls by 21%. This is typically when they buy more. They have automatic buy orders. They're always accumulating more. But this year has really picked up as far as the creation of the Bitcoin ETFs and what it meant for the wider scope of the market. When you talk about these people accumulating, once again, over 1 million Bitcoin over the course of a 4-month period, it shows where the trend is going. When you talk about that there are other buyers who are consistently accumulating and not letting go of their positions, it adds on to the trend. The idea is they want to own all the Bitcoin. It sounds crazy, it sounds inflated, it sounds dramatic in a certain way, but it's how assets are dealt with. And I'll throw this lightly onto the pile. It's similar when I have tried to give warnings over the course of this year and the last year and the year before and the year before that about meme coins and these other coins and these other new projects that are constantly popping up. The idea is that, for those of you who don't know, these things are done on purpose. And I know it doesn't sound like it or seem like it, especially when you are dealing with it. These coins are created for you to lose interest or act as a distraction for the actual wider market and what's typically taking place. These meme coins are created for you to throw your money into them, for the person who created these coins to take the money from you and then reinvest into larger assets. It's the way that the market has always been, but this new cycle has a brand new theme, and it is simply meme coins. So yes, this is how wealth is created. It's happening right in front of your eyes, and there are going to be a large number of you who think that you're paying attention, but you're not paying attention. And in 5 to 10 years, you are going to find yourself in a very angry position because you think that you've been paying attention and you think that you've been doing the right thing when you literally only have to. It's not even that it's not financial advice. It's just what rich people do. You buy and hold. You buy assets that create value for you or that produce dividends or produce money for you, and you simply buy and hold them forever. This is once again how wealth is accumulated. So we had news, this was a couple of weeks ago for those of you who missed it. 91%, you must remember, of I think it's all Bitcoin. Of all Bitcoin is now being held by whales. And we know this because of the news and the numbers and the charts and these addresses. So this news in front of you is about the Bitcoin that hasn't moved, but 91% of Bitcoin is now being held by long-term holders and the wealthiest people on the planet. These people will benefit the most from Bitcoin going to 100K, to 200,000, to $500,000, to 1 million, to 1.7 million, to $23 million per coin. This was shockingly quite popular news. Normally, we don't get actual, what's the word? The word's not strong news, but news that means something that ends up being popular. People tend to brush over this kind of news and or not think about it too much or go, well, Bitcoin's price is still down. And it's you're really not paying attention to what's going on. I'm seeing this, last point, I'm seeing more and more documentaries about wealth accumulation because it's becoming quite obvious even to the public. Typically, when you hear about people buying land, crypto, stocks, assets, you name it, it kind of is in the background. But now normal companies and people around the world are now not blowing a whistle, but you understand, being hey, there's a huge shift that's happening. And the only people who aren't paying attention are the people who should be paying attention. It's similar to when the stock market dropped. Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago? Who knows? A lot of people missed that the reason why there was a rebound is because those stocks and crypto were being accumulated by whales once again. Strengthening and solidifying their position as the richest people on the planet forever. That's the 75% of Bitcoin hasn't moved in more than half of a year. And yeah, you're gonna see exactly what happens because it's the same thing that happens every single bull cycle, but this time is different. The accumulation is a lot heavier. And yeah, let's move on. I saw this only on a couple of websites, and I know why. It's because a lot of these websites and a lot of crypto YouTubers have been promoting a lot of these things. For those of you not looking at the screen, new research from a company called ChainPlay has highlighted a staggering 97% failure rate. 97% failure rate for meme coin projects since the beginning of 2024. Apparently, the average lifespan for one of these coins is just 1 year, while typical crypto projects that I also warn you about typically last for around 3 years. Also pay attention, a lot of these older crappy projects are going to try to bounce back into the market, to try and rebound, to try and think you to get or understand that that they're still around, throw some money into us. These are also terrible projects. According to AlphaQuest, a crypto research tool, around 2,000 meme coin projects disappear or rug pull or go away each month. Each month, 2,020 meme coin projects. So as I've been telling you over the course of it's been more the last year, like since, and I mean like a good 365 days more or less. I try to explain and I see people getting angry, and it's once again, it's not that I'm a genius. Like, please understand that the point of this video is to help people. I know that you're so disenfranchised or so used to the fact that other cryptocurrency channels will try to throw you under the blockchain bus or like do something wrong to you or have, done like really explicitly. You understand. The point of this channel is to try and make you to succeed. I know it sounds cheesy. I know it sounds weird. I know it sounds like a 1990s like after school special, but understand that that's the point of this channel. I'm trying to give you the news, first of all, like the news in general, but also make sure that you understand and that you're well informed of what's actually happening. Most other places will continuously tell you. I've seen a lot of channels. I see these channels pop up on my suggested. I see them on Twitter. I see them online. I see people talking about them. I've seen people shift from telling you that Tron is the answer, from giving you some slight insights into the fact that Cardano is probably a good project. But when they see that they're not getting the right amount of views, they will shift over to Solana. And they found views and whatever excitement with Solana because of the amount of new coins and the amount of things that they're able to shill you every single month and every single day and hype up this project that might do this and give you news stories of people. As I told you what happened at the beginning of the year, I'm not psychic. It's just I've been here for almost a decade. They will show you these articles of people who made 8,000%. I just saw one before starting this video. It said this meme coin so-and-so made 10 million% from this coin and 5 million% from this coin, and he found a brand new coin that's worth 3 cents. The point of these articles is to get you to believe that you could also be at the front of the line, that you can hold hands with the person who's making this coin and or receive some kind of news or information that someone else simply won't have, but you also don't have it. You're hearing about it at the end of the coin's lifespan. It's been created. It's already pumped. Someone's trying to get you into it, to throw your last bit of doubloons into it. You end up losing money, and then you end up surprised. I told you there are a lot of people who I know, I mean, not a lot, maybe 3 or 4 people who over the course of the year, I try to, for friends and family, a lot of people tell me that they want to get into crypto, and I try to lead them into like, and I say this lightly, the most stable, as you know, Bitcoin being more stable than many of these other things. The problem is that other YouTubers get them, or they tell me about projects or other things that I've tried to tell them not to get into, and then they end up getting into, and then they end up losing a lot of their money. It says meme coins, a roller coaster of fortunes, or a financial minefield. Our latest study of 30,000 projects, 30,000 projects, 30,000 projects, 30,000 projects that I've tried to tell you about since the beginning of this year. Yeah, 97% of them have disappeared since the beginning of this year. And a lot of the other ones are simply zombie chains. They simply kind of exist. No one's messing with them. No one's updating them or upgrading them. People just still are, trading them back and forth. And these are the coins I told you have no future. The entire reason, listen to my words, I know that. And 97% of these coins have failed, so therefore only 3% of you. 3% of you are going to listen to me. The entire reason why Solana has been hyped up and has risen in price and has gained notoriety is because of these projects that have all disappeared and rug pulled over the course of this year. That is the only reason. I said it in another video and people had a literal conniption because you've been so brainwashed into believing that this coin has some kind of purpose and or will bring you to the glory land, the holy land, some type of unforeseen riches that you didn't know was possible. It's because you've been brainwashed, as have many other people. Don't worry, it happens every single cycle. I can only try and help, but once again, I know that only 3% of you are going to listen to my words. The entire point of Solana is just a hype chain, a hype train, if you will. If you hadn't had news about all of these coins, 30,000 projects over the course of this year that multiple people have told you to invest in, to get into, that you've been scammed by and rug pulled by, what would be the point of Solana? What else is Solana doing? I will continue to probably have to reiterate that over the course of the rest of this year. In 2025, I will just stop doing it. I try my best all the time to give people as much information as possible. For those of you not looking at the screen, this is the actual image of the publication. 97% of meme coins have disappeared since 2024. 6 out of 10, 60% of new investors view meme coins as a must-have in their portfolio. It's because these people don't know any better. I have a friend who's really into stocks. When he first got into stocks, he was asking me if I knew about stocks. And I said, yes, I know about stocks. And I told him, do not get into penny stocks. He said, why not? He heard that they were a great way to make money. I had to inform him and tell him the problem with penny stocks is often these are brand new companies and or someone who was lucky enough to get listed on a stock exchange. A lot of these penny stocks end up disappearing. However, YouTubers will tell you that penny stocks are great because you're front running. You're at the very end or the very front, they tell you, of the line. And therefore, if this company goes from a valuation of 2 cents to $5, you might have found the next Amazon. And then he lost a huge amount of money, and now he's just in blue chip stocks, like I told him, that pay dividends between 3 to 6%. And he's a lot happier because he's now using his passive income that he's making from these stocks over the course of the last year to go on vacation every other month. That is not a joke. That is not a lie. 60% of people are getting into these meme coins because other people are telling them to get into the meme coins because they don't understand finance. They don't understand the markets. They don't understand that they're being scammed. And the issue is that a lot of these people, as I said before in other videos, help each other. Let other people know. You will have people who want to get into crypto. Do not let them walk around aimlessly. Let them understand what the market is, what Bitcoin is, what Ethereum is, what XRP is, and why these things are so popular and how much money there is to be made. Do not let them go to the other thousands of coins. On average, 2,000 meme coins disappear every single month. Over half of meme coins, 55%, are malicious. The average lifespan of a meme coin is 1 year, and nearly 1/3 of investors have experienced losses or rug pulls from scam meme coins. These coins have no future. The people who are creating them are trying to rug pull you. They're trying to get your money. We've seen this over the course of multiple years, of multiple cycles, and it's just repeating all over again. Anywho, to the 3% of you who are listening, I wish you the best of luck. to the other 97% who suck their teeth and roll their eyes and skipped forward and doesn't believe a word that I'm saying because you heard and read in an article somewhere that somebody became a millionaire and your biggest goal is to become a millionaire, and instead of you doing it by doing actual due diligence and reading and doing the work and investigating and trying to figure out if you are being scammed, I can only wish you the best of luck. Only. Yeah, that's the news. And yeah, let's move on. Also, in incredibly popular news, I will explain to you why it's very popular and it's absolute nonsense. So apparently, MicroStrategy has created an ETF of themselves. Right. They launched a MicroStrategy 1.75x ETF called MSTX, a fund indexed to leverage their own stock. So let me explain. I'll try and put this into very simple terms so that we can move on. MicroStrategy became incredibly popular a number of years ago when they announced that they were into Bitcoin. Got it. MicroStrategy became even more popular when they announced that they were buying huge amounts of Bitcoin. Got it. MicroStrategy went to like near angelic status in the space when they announced that they were buying hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, which a lot of people were simply okay with, as opposed to being like, hey, leave some for literally the other half of the planet. But alas, rich people are just, happy with rich people owning all of the Bitcoin. We had news a while ago, she's not in the news as much anymore, about Cathie Wood, the CEO of something. I forgot, what is she the CEO of? Some other company who buys a lot of cryptocurrency related stock. And I think she also bought a large amount of MicroStrategy as well. MicroStrategy stock has done extremely well over the course of the last 2 years, as every other company does well. When they announce that they're buying Bitcoin and that the price of Bitcoin goes up, therefore the company is worth more, therefore the stock for some reason also ends up going up as well. MicroStrategy is currently, if I'm not mistaken, trying to raise another couple of $2 billion to be able to buy more Bitcoin based off of debt against their stock, but I think it doesn't have to be paid back until like 2033 or something really weird like that. So tying all those things together, you get Captain MicroStrategy Planet, where people position this news as a really clever way to get exposure to MicroStrategy who has exposure to Bitcoin. You understand? So a lot of people, this was very popular news, wrote about this news because MicroStrategy is into Bitcoin. Therefore, if you buy their ETF, you have exposure to MicroStrategy, and you also have exposure to Bitcoin through MicroStrategy holding Bitcoin as opposed to you buying Bitcoin yourself. But wait, there's more. Because it is leveraged, a lot of other people, and this is a very big topic that needs to be spoken about when it comes to finance YouTube channels. A lot of YouTube channels in finance will tell you, and it's so weird, a lot of them tell you to get into debt, which is crazy. And a lot of them also tell you to get into leveraged positions. The problem with leveraged positions is basically everything. If you don't know what you're doing, you're going to lose money. And if you know what you're doing, you're also going to lose money. So a lot of times you might have heard over the course of the last few years, if you haven't, I'm going to reiterate, a lot of crypto exchanges like Binance and Bajabaja and all the other ones, before we had ETFs, what was very popular were futures. The idea was, we don't have ETFs, so therefore futures is it. And when futures wasn't enough and wasn't bringing in enough money, they started to open up leveraged trading. 5x, 10x, 20x, sometimes even 100x. You heard me correctly, 100x leveraged trades, because these people on YouTube channels and other places and articles and wherever you absorb your news from, we're telling you that if you got into a position and you put in $15,000 and your leverage position actually ended up working, you would get 100x of what you have. You'd become a millionaire overnight. Isn't that absolutely amazing? But what you're missing is that you also, completely lose the entirety of your position and then some. There've been a lot of, because you have to have money for that leveraged position. It's not simply, oh no, I lost it and then you only lose 1,000. No, you have to have money for the rest of the leveraged position. This is why we heard news, and a lot of people forget very easily over the course of the last couple of years, of a lot of people who've been in crypto and have opened up leverage positions, and in minutes, There was a guy who lost 600,000. There was another one who lost, I think, $1.4 million. These people were not happy after that. So, yeah, this is popular news. And I once again, I'm telling you, and I mean in more certain terms, to avoid it. Stay away from it. It's not for you. People are reporting on this as something absolutely incredible. Yeah, talking about giving you 175% daily stock returns. MicroStrategy ETF receives green light. It's in a very happy, amazing, awesome position. This is how you make quick money. No, this is how you quickly lose money, and it should be completely avoided because even people in leveraged positions lose money all the time. It's the same, whatever. We'll just move on from here because I know that only 3% of you are paying attention. Yeah, they're just trying to find another way to get extra money into their pockets because that's always the name of the game. That's the MicroStrategy hyper leveraged ETF news. And yeah, let's move on. In similar energy news, this was, and people need to stop. I mean, if people could really, it's not even get it together. Do you understand like what you're talking about half the time? Do you understand what you think that you're saying that actually isn't correct? A lot of the news in the last year and a half, I'll say year, has been heavily pushing towards the idea of an XRP ETF. Long story short, we have Bitcoin ETFs. People were like, we're going to get some other altcoin. We got Ethereum ETFs. And the idea is that, well, something else has to come down the pipeline. And since the Solana ETFs have basically been thrown out the window, for those of you who missed that news, 5 different companies came forward and they were like, no, we have no interest in it because they know that it's also garbage. The news has basically revolved around XRP ETFs. So when this happened, everyone's like, well, previously before the other one happened and then we got this one. People think that because, oh my gosh, whatever. I think I'm just hungry. I was about to mention peanut butter and jelly. I have no idea what's going on. Bitnomial, a Chicago-based cryptocurrency derivatives exchange, plans to introduce a US dollar cash-settled futures contract for XRP under the ticker symbol XUS. And for those of you who just try to find what this is because you want to trade it, like literal shame on you because you've completely forgotten. Why doesn't anyone remember anything? I was going over something and I was looking online. People's attention spans have dropped so low so quick. It's the same thing when you see a lot of people like their attention span is roughly between 8 to 15 seconds. And if you haven't captured them within that time frame, people like it's the same on Instagram and on TikTok. People will leave your video because 8 seconds. You have 8 seconds to capture someone's attention. It's completely insane. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about or simply have forgotten, the point of futures, especially futures in crypto, is to bet against the price of something. Do none of you remember back in 2017 when we got Bitcoin futures? And there were people who were like, hey, something's wrong. Bitcoin futures isn't good for the market. Do you know why and we know this to be true. Do you know why the cryptocurrency market dropped in 2018? It's because everyone who was dealing in futures opened up short positions and they were betting against the price of Bitcoin. And then Bitcoin's price subsequently fell. And we heard, don't forget, from the former head of the CFTC, who was told by the administration in 2017 to launch Bitcoin futures to drop the price of Bitcoin. Every time that we've seen any coin get a meaningful futures, not that Bitnomial isn't, I have no idea how large they are as an institution, but any larger one and they have futures, the price tends to always go down because in the background you have people shorting it and manipulating the price to make it go lower. Futures for XRP is not good, are not good. We should not have them because they're going to only cause XRP in the background's price to actually go a lot lower. If you want something like an ETF, you have to get an actual ETF. A lot of the news floating around was that this was going to be the brand new awesome thing that was going to cause XRP to skyrocket. And it's because, once again, people continuously keep forgetting what a lot of these things are. Not everyone is on our side. Not everyone is with us. Not everyone is trying to be or help a decentralized market or trying to help you. Once again, we go over this news all the time. There are many other coins that also have futures, and there's a reason why you barely hear about them anymore. I don't think that this one is anything special. Once again, not downplaying how I've never heard of this company before, but they do have XRP futures. The problem is that they're not trading or settling in XRP. If they were trading XRP back and forth and they were doing billions of dollars every single day, it would mean something. That was the problem when we first got and when we continuously had Bitcoin futures. People were like, there's $14 billion worth of trade volume every day. Why isn't that translating into prices going higher? And remember, every single Friday, don't forget, every Friday back in 2017, 18, and 19, we always got news that at the end of the week, the futures were going to settle. And then when they did settle, if Bitcoin's price was 16,000 and the futures said that they had to be at 12,000, remember, Bitcoin's price would fall down to 12,000. It was a heavy form of price manipulation. They are dealing in US dollars and not actually trading in the cryptocurrencies themselves. That's why when we see and we saw the ETFs for Bitcoin accumulating 1 million Bitcoin, that's why prices moved. Because these companies are accumulating the actual Bitcoin. There's less Bitcoin on crypto exchanges. So no, this is not anything special, regardless of how widely reported that it was. There are a lot of people, I mean, sometimes I like dunce caps, like I really don't understand it, who are like trying to get more, oh geez Louise, trying to get more XRP futures because they think if there are enough futures, then therefore the SEC will kiss their ring and go, okay, now you can have an ETF. Really? Like you're conspiring to like play handball with the SEC and try and go on a picnic with them? Do you not remember what the SEC did to XRP over the course of the last 4 years? I told you it was going to be a weird video. There was just a lot of like really odd news that was kind of poking its head out, but I think that's just the cryptocurrency space. Some days we have a lot of like euphoric news, and other days it's kind of like, okay, everyone really needs to get it together. So yeah, we don't need more futures. If anything, we need less. This is why, closing arguments. In 2020 and 2021, you might remember a lot of the news from the New York Stock Exchange, who had backed BAKKT, that they had Bitcoin futures, and some days their trading volume was zero. Not one, not a million, zero, like $0. No one wanted to deal in them anymore. Yeah, so that's the XRP futures news. I have no idea what more to say. I do sincerely hope that you've all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, understanding, commenting, and supporting. I'm just trying to help. I think this isn't a joke. I think a lot of people have never had help in their lives. That's not to be dramatic, but like a lot of people kind of stumble around by themselves, and especially in this space, I think you're so used to being lied to. I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to help. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.